What's up, everybody? My name is Sean with Scents by Sean. Thanks so much for dropping on back by, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about a topic that, if you're at all in the fragrance community, you're definitely well aware of the prevalence of flankers of certain fragrances. For those of you unfamiliar with what a flanker is a different take on an original fragrance by the same company that is typically in the same vein of the original fragrance. They usually share the same DNA, but the flanker is going to have a slight twist or a different variation than the original. Today's specific topic is awesome flankers. I've got 5 here for you that I adore either as much or maybe even more than the original. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So our first flanker on today's list is a flanker of the original Polo Red. Polo Red has a lot of different flankers. This one in particular is Polo Red Extreme. Polo Red Extreme is a fairly simple fragrance with only 3 notes listed. You have got ebony wood, you've got blood orange, and you have coffee. So this one is kind of like sneaky good. In my opinion, because it's so linear, you'd kind of expect it to be really basic. This one is absolutely fantastic. This is almost has a gourmand kind of feel. It's very, very delicious. The blood orange and coffee make it very, very sweet. It's saved from being too sweet by the ebony wood. The wood is definitely on the lower end of what you get. This is a warm, sweet coffee, orange, just delicious fragrance, and it's really, really good. I like this one because to me it's a little more interesting than the original Polo Red. Like I said, this one you would think it'd be pretty boring with only 3 notes listed, but they're blended really, really well. Polo Red Extreme, they've got lots of flankers out: Polo Red Intense, Polo Red Rush, the Polo Red Extreme, and obviously the original Polo Red. Of the 4, this one is my favorite, and it's the one I find myself reaching for the most, and it takes the #1 spot for awesome flankers. So for the fragrance coming up on our #2 spot, you definitely are familiar with if you've watched any of my prior videos. It's one that I really, really enjoy and I talk about it a lot, and it is Spice Bomb Extreme. So this is a flanker of Viktor and Rolf's original Spice Bomb. This one gives a little bit more sweetness and lends itself really well to the warm weather, date night, kind of sexy feel for the original Spice Bomb. This one is very well received by the community. Typically people really, really enjoy this flanker. There's been a couple of other flankers that I won't mention by Viktor and Rolf from Spice Bomb that didn't fare so well, but Spice Bomb Extreme is a wonderful, sweet, vanilla tobacco fragrance. If you enjoy tobacco fragrances, this is definitely one I'd recommend checking out. However, keep in mind it is significantly sweeter than other tobacco fragrances. I don't necessarily think it's too sweet. I think the sweetness aids really, really well in balancing this one out, but it is a sweet fragrance. So if really sweet fragrances aren't your thing, this is one that maybe give a sniff or get a decant of before you pull the trigger on a full bottle, but no matter what, it is a fantastic flanker, and I think it's right up there in quality with the original Spice Bomb. For our #3 spot, we are staying in the same vein of tobacco fragrances. This is a flanker from Thierry Mugler of the Angel Men line. This one in particular is Pure Havane. Pure Havane is highly rated as one of the best Angel Men Thierry Mugler fragrances. Pure Malt and Pure Havane, in my personal opinion, not only are my favorite 2, but are ones that are really well regarded as 2 of the best. Pure Havane is fantastic because it takes the original Angel Men DNA and it adds this honey cherry sweetness to it. This one is very masculine. This one, you're going to smell like a tobacco bar. You're going to smell like you just walked out of a cigar shop. This is a very, very good tobacco in the similar vein of Spice Bomb Extreme with that sweet tobacco, but this is more of like a sticky, sweet honey cherry tobacco, and it is fantastic. The Angel Men line to me is so interesting because they really tend to each do their own thing really, really well, and they're not like a lot of others. There's not like a spring, freshy, aquatic Angel Men. There's not anything really boring. Each one, even if you don't love them, is very exciting. Pure Havane is my personal favorite right next to Pure Malt. It's a fantastic flanker. The Angel Men line, for me, has never really let me down, and this is absolutely one of my favorites, guys. Coming in at the #4 spot, we have got a 2019 Hype Monster. This was regarded as one of the best releases of 2019, and for fantastic reason. I don't have a bottle, I'll throw a picture right up here. This is a decant of Armani Code Absolu. So this one is a obvious flanker from Armani Code, the original DNA. This one takes the original DNA and adds a warm, sexy kind of seductiveness. The notes in this one are mandarin, tonka bean, apple, and suede. Those are 4 of the notes that you hear kind of talked about the most often, and it is a fantastic fragrance. This one is so good in particular because it takes the original Armani Code DNA, which I can tend to find a little bit boring and a little bit simple. It's good and it's safe, but it's nothing special, and this one really turns it on its head and gives you something that's sexy and fun and a really, really nice fragrance. The tonka bean gives you that typical tonka sweetness and that great for winter time kind of feel, and the suede gives it that luxurious touch that makes this seem like a really expensive fragrance, even though it kind of fits in the designer price tag category. Armani Code Absolute, wonderful release of 2019. It is going to continue to be a great fragrance into 2020, and I think it's the best flanker of all the Armani Codes. And for our number 5 and our last spot, certainly not least, this is a fantastic release by the house of Paco Rabanne. This is 1 Million Lucky, a flanker of the original 1 Million. 1 Million, as a lot of people will know, is a very sweet, very loud bubblegum fragrance. It is a huge compliment getter, but a lot of people can find it very overwhelming. It's not at all versatile. It really fits a certain mold of when it needs to be worn, but I think 1 Million Lucky is so much more versatile. I think this one is miles and miles better than the original 1 Million, and I think it's more versatile. I think it's better smelling, and I think overall they just did a better job on this one. This one has notes of chestnut, honey, plum, and grapefruit, which make this so easy to wear, super likable, and just an absolutely awesome flanker. You have got another flanker I know that people really enjoy, which is going to be 1 Million Privé, which is another fantastic flanker. I think it's it goes in the same vein of the original 1 Million, as it kind of has a time and place to be worn. Well, I think this one is just so much more versatile and easy to wear. So this is a fantastic flanker, guys. Pick this one up. It blows 1 Million out of the water, and I think it's much, much better. All right, guys, so that is our list of 5 awesome flankers that you should absolutely check out. The original DNA for all of these fragrances are bar setters. They're a great DNA, and there's a reason that these flankers are so successful. It's because they could use the original DNA's launching pad to have such great success. But in my opinion, these are awesome in their own right, and just like the original, are absolutely worth checking out. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to today's video. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of cool content coming out for you guys. You want to be a part of this notification squad, I promise you. I appreciate how fast we've been growing. We got a great fragrance family here, and I encourage you guys to be a part of it. Do your thing down in the comments section. Let me know what you thought of today's video. Let me know what some of your favorite flankers are. I love to hear about different flankers. I think the idea of spin-off fragrances is really cool, and I would love to hear what some of your favorite ones are. You've been watching Scents by Sean, guys. Have a great day and keep on smelling great.